Well, good evening and welcome once again to the LBJ Grasslands outside of Decatur, Texas. Tonight's exercise is a field test of the Cyansky H5 multicolor hunting flashlight, white, red, and green outputs. I want to thank Cyansky for sending me the light and making the review possible. We have the H5 here on the right compared to the original K3 on the left. K3 is a very typical tack light, about 6 inches in length. The H5 is 7.2, also a heavier light without battery at 229 grams versus, if memory recalls, 133 for the K3. The peak lumen and candela output in white mode for the two lights, however, is very comparable. So we will be doing some comparison beam shots tonight, but most of the field exercise tonight is going to show off the red and green outputs. But before we get to that, I'm going to do a very quick overview of the UI. Well, this is pretty simple, so simple that even I can do it. You have on-off momentary switch on the back with some protection for AD. Output level switch right here. Notice that this is raised. I like that because it's very easy to find and operate even with gloves. It's going to be pretty cold tonight. I may actually be working with gloves tonight. Then the filters are built in. So this is the switch to control which light output you want. It has memory, so turn it on, switch the output, turn it to a different color, turn it off, turn it back on, remembers, turn it off. Half press in, we have momentary. Like I said, so easy, even I can do it. All right, how does it look in the dark? Well, give it about another 45 minutes here and we'll go find out. All right, let's get started. I have my headlamp on a very low flood. We have just a small sliver of sunlight still left on the horizon, but a lot of people hunt in these exact lighting conditions. In fact, I've heard 3 shots go off just in the last half hour. We are still in hunting season out here at the Grasslands. I want to get the K3 on here in turbo so you can see what we're looking at. This particular camping area runs adjacent to the Blue Trail, although you can't see the Blue Trail because of that rise right in front of me. Those trees to the right, the far end goes out about 40 yards from my current position, and then there's a group of trees right there at not quite 100. So that's what we'll be looking at as we go through the white modes of the H5. So let me get all of this off. And then I'm bringing the H5 here in low, medium, high, turbo. And so you can kind of see how that compared to the K3. Let me actually bring them in side by side. Okay, we've got K3 there on the left, H5 on the right. And so that'll give you a rough idea of how the two lights compare, because the K3 is a fairly well-known commodity. What I'm going to do next is get out on the road. We have a quarter moon out tonight, not a cloud in the sky. These are conditions under which, even though it's cold, it'll be in the mid to high 30s for the rest of the night. I have seen wildlife out here under these conditions, so let's go see how these red and green output levels work and see if we can have ourselves a close encounter of the four-legged kind. All right, we're looking at the green output in turbo along a bit of a depression and game trail. The ground out here at the grasslands is unstable, and so weather tends to form these, and then we have a little animal traffic going across it. And so that's what the green looks like. Let me see if I can do this one-handed. And there is the red output, same area in turbo. So now we're looking around another campground. I have my headlamp in 200 lumen spot. Let me bring the Cyansky here on red, and this is in high mode. So we're going to drop from turbo down to high. Get the headlamp off. And so now I'm just going to scan around the same area in high red. And I'm going to have to adjust my grip. There it is in green. Also in high. Now I want to look at medium and high, but in context of following a trail. All right, I've come off the camp area. This is the red trail, which leads from here back up to the road. So there may be instances where I have to work with law enforcement, and you know, let's say we're tracking Billy Bad Guy, and I'm serving as a guide. One of the things I've always liked about green light is it's incredibly muddy here, so I have to work pretty hard to make sure I don't fall, because I can't look at where I'm stepping and film at the same time. But green light is very difficult to see from the side, and so we're in medium right now. And what I'm seeing is that this is adequate for just following this trail, making sure I don't trip. I can get just a little bit situational awareness if I have to. Okay, there I'm up into high. So that'll give you an idea of what it's like just for trail following and some decent situational awareness. All right, I'm near the edge of Cottonwood Lake. We had a lot of rain and snow yesterday. Lake levels are down. It's extremely muddy in front of me. I don't want to risk getting stuck. I'm looking at the dock area right in there, about 280 to 300 yards away, white turbo. And then now I'm looking down into the edge of the lake. Let's see what that looks like in the different colors from this distance, probably a good 12 or more yards from the edge. There's red, again in turbo, and green. Although I would typically use blue light for this task, as you can see, green is not bad at all. If I was searching the edge of this lake line, even going down about another 5 or 6 feet in depth, I would do okay with this green mode. All right, well, I'm going to turn around, head back to the truck, and then we'll do a quick wrap up. Okay, one last test here. There's not enough moonlight out to safely follow the road, especially with puddles and slick spots. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to find out, well, what's the lowest red mode I can operate on? And it's looking like this medium is getting, you can see a puddle right there. I could, if I wasn't watching where I was going, I could just easily step into that, and that's a sprained or broken ankle waiting to happen. But with this red, even a medium, I'm able to safely make my way through, and I'll still have a good night vision if I need to go completely dark. And you see, I've got the moon right there, and although it's a crisp, clear night, it's not enough moon to safely follow this path. But with the cyan sky in this medium red mode, yeah, I could easily make it all the way back to the truck in this safely and securely. So speaking of the truck, I'll check in when I get back there. All right, here we are back where we started. Turbo red. There's the trees on the right at about 40 yards. There's the rise that you go over, and then it drops down and you hit the blue trail. There it is, turbo green. I don't hunt. I understand that hunters have different opinions about red versus green light. But for me, on this particular model, especially with the work I do in search and rescue, green was kind of the big winner. I'm really digging this mode. I may do some additional comparisons with my dedicated blue light. Unfortunately, that doesn't have separate output levels. It's just either all on or all off. The thing I like about this H5 is I've got 4 different levels to choose from. And I have had some success with green light in blood tracking. So I'm definitely going to use this more out in the field. I may publish a second review in the future. I hope you got the information you were looking for. One last time in turbo white. And as always, until the next review, thank you very much for your time, and thank you for watching the video.